Growing up, I used to love mowing the lawn with my dad on the weekend. You know, the gents would take off their tops, splash in some sunblock, pull out the equipment, plan the pattern, and get going. My dad always gave me the important job of holding this bright orange electrical cable just a few feet behind him. The lawnmower was so loud that we would shout at each other in animated conversation as we cut different patterns into the grass. You see, my dad would always try to cut similar patterns to the various sports fields around the world. And this was all in an attempt to get ready for our afternoon garden fixture. It was so exciting. I mean, we would mow up and down the lawn until the job was done. Now, as we worked, blades of grass would fly out the sides of the lawnmower. We would often have to stop, collect all the grass, and pile them into these huge, big black garden bags. And at the end of our long morning of work, we'd pour ourselves a big glass of ice cold water and marvel at a job well done. Every now and then, my mom would come out, look down, and give her opinion, which wasn't welcomed as it was often filled with dissatisfaction. We would look at my mom in disbelief. I know that my dad was thinking what I was thinking. This woman's never cut a blade of grass in her life. I mean, honestly, what the heck does she know? But when we stood back and looked at the lawn objectively, she had a point. You know, it was most often not a perfect cut. You see, my dad, every now and then, he got a bit carried away and cut the grass so short, leaving these huge brown patches of pure sand. But because my dad and I had this secret code of sticking together, her comments were tossed away with the rest of the cut grass. These Saturday morning memories got me thinking, this year in particular, maybe we felt like those blades of grass being shredded, line after line, bag after bag, one blade after another. It's felt like God has mowed over us. It's as if God has taken his lawnmower out and mowed over the world. And very often we just feel cut down. Economies have shrunk, flourishing companies have closed, close loved ones have passed away, stable careers have undergone retrenchments, incomes have decreased, marriages have ended, and exhaustion has set in. If I'm honest, at the beginning of the year, I felt a little bit like the Incredible Hulk, but now many of us may feel a little bit like the Grinch as we draw closer to Christmas. If we find ourselves in this place, how do we continue to trust God? How does God restore us? Does he restore us? So often at the end of every year, I'm needing God to meet me in this place, and maybe you do too. God, I'm exhausted. God, if that mower goes over me one more time, I'm not sure I'm gonna make it.
Well, this year has been an interesting one. It was the second half of my first year of business, of our new business that we launched, which we launched last year, July. And with COVID coming into play, it threw a bit of a spanner in the works. And unfortunately, by September this year, we decided to close the business. The business was basically my baby, so it was a really, really hard thing to do. On top of us deciding to close Be First, my father also lost his job at the age of 65, and he had to move in with us, and we've been trying to help him find a job, but with him being 65, it obviously hasn't been easy. My mother as well was working for a resort down in the Eastern Cape and was let off for the months that they didn't operate. And then on top of that, my husband's salary was cut, so we were living on one salary, and it was kind of half of the one salary. We've had some testing times living on less. My relationship with God has been a challenging one this year. I really believe that God pushed me in the direction of Be First. And when it came tumbling down, I started questioning, was it God speaking? Was it my own, ambition? What was it? And yeah, I've been, questioning everything, questioning my relationship with God, questioning if he's hearing my prayers, questioning if I'm hearing his answers, which I think is a big one. Yesterday I was in the car going, God, like, honestly, like, what's going on here? Like, am I deaf? Am I, like, what's going on? Like, and I was asking some deep, hard questions, and I was like, I'm starting to get done. I was like, I pray at night and then I can't sleep. I pray in the morning and then I'm angry, like, and I was just like, the more I ask, the more angry I'm getting, because I'm like, what's happening?
Sure, friend, that's huge, eh?
Yeah.
Feel sad. Wait, yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely edit that out.
I'm just getting tears.
There's a prayer written in the Bible for people who find themselves in this place. This psalm was specifically prayed for the king of Israel. Israel's history is filled with grass-cutting events, often because of its leaders' bad decisions. This is what they prayed. May he be like rain falling on a mown field. Psalm 72:6. The people's cry, may this king's rule be like rain falling on a mown field. You see, like us, Israel also felt like they were being mowed down throughout their history. They had enemies attack them. They were plagued by idol worshippers. Their temple was torn down. There was often famine, death, and disease. If you zoomed out and looked down on the lawn of Israel, you'd see these vast brown patches of sand. And during all these hardships, I love what they pray. Please, God, be like rain to us. They appeal to God to nourish them, comfort them, bring relief. Picture rain falling down on a thirsty land. It moistens the soil, it quenches the dryness, it helps restore growth again. Ultimately, this psalm should point us to what it means to have a relationship with Jesus, the Bible's portrayal of an eternal king. If we feel like this mown down field, disillusioned, barren, broken, beaten, and just burnt out, my prayer is that Jesus would be like rain, soul-soaking rain, that he would come close, that he would refresh, that he would soften, that he would touch us anew, that an experience of his presence would cause us to bow in soft-hearted, life-giving, gentle, and tearful worship. If you look at the mown down field of your life and don't know what to do, maybe this psalm would encourage you to do the one thing we all need to do, and that's to pray. Please, God, rain on the world, restore economies and companies. Please, God, rain on anyone listening to this. Comfort those who have experienced loss and change. Please, God, rain on us, create new growth and healing. Touch us, restore us, come close to us, this barren land.